Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on the start of a brand new week, and we're back discussing some of the biggest headlines on the front pages of newspapers across Mzansi this morning. And of course, we encourage you at home to please join in on the discussion. And I'm sure this is going to spark a lot of interest this morning. Please drop us a voice note, 0634088863. So let's get to the heart of the matter right now. The memorial service of murdered Tshwane University of Technology student Nontokozo Xaba was filled with tears of sorrow, regret, renewed commitments in the fight against the scourge of gender-based violence. And student president for TUT's Shoshamguve campus, Sizwe Nyambi, gave a very fiery speech at the memorial service, understandably so, and this is what he had to say.
Given the justice system, but Ronald Lamula, they are playing. But Zondo, they are playing. Now, you have touched a wrong country, the Republic. We shall show them flames. Let them release him. We are going to prison. We are going to kill him. She will fall after us. We're not going to tolerate that.
Yeah, and as you can see, the state of the country, I think that is just a snapshot of what so many people are feeling out there, the rage, the absolute rage at what we've seen going on over a number of years, and it's reached fever pitch. As he just said right now, the justice system is letting the country down and individuals down to where we find ourselves here now.
I'll give you some statistics in just a moment in terms of how many rape cases and how many convictions are actually following through, and that's obviously being driven by a fear to come forward in one sense, but not being able to follow through on those convictions. But just to give a bit of background on this specific story to any of you who missed any of the details, just getting into some of the circumstances surrounding Nontokozo's murder that is causing this public outcry at the moment. Obviously, a different added of some notoriety to this, but Nontokozo, who was just 21 years old, was killed allegedly by her ex-boyfriend, who is a junior Blue Bulls rugby player, Mqayabo Tusi, who's just 23 years old, and that was in their off-campus residence in Pretoria. She would have, in fact, celebrated her 21st birthday today.
Yeah.
The fear here is, will this name be forgotten for another name tomorrow because of the rate at which these are happening? And this is almost, from a newsworthy perspective, great to have a little added gravitas for people to say, okay, here's another slightly more well-known person in the mix here. Can we not have more attention? Tomorrow there'll be 20 more headlines because the rate is just so high. And I think what really hit home, this building apparently is just across the road from an area that is incredibly, has been focused on a lot in this sense. But at the moment, a day before Valentine's Day, 10 years on almost from Reeva Steenkamp's murder, and we ask, has anything moved forward in the last 10 years in terms of our socio-economic drivers, in terms of us being able to deal with these workloads within the police, being able to get prosecutions? Where do we stand with gender-based violence? And of course, when you wake up to headlines like this, it's soul-destroying.
Yeah, and I guess it's like there seems to be a lack of a set structure that we now can understand being, you know, how do we proceed? How do we make sure that those who are the perpetrators of violence against our fellow countrymen and countrywomen are held to account, properly so? And that's why you get comments like that from Civil Organisation Action Society's Ian Cameron, who said that President Cyril Ramaphosa, when he spoke about GBV, he spoke about it as if, and I quote, as if it was an afterthought during his SONA address. And I think as a country, yeah, and you know, South Africans want to see a lot more seriousness being placed on this issue among many others. And then also, like, what is the plan of action?
Not another body or group brought together to investigate more, to find out more, because now we know. So get this, roughly 9,516 rapes reported just between April and June of 2022, 286 convictions. There is a massive, massive shortfall, and whether that's a fear of coming forward, a despondency, how do we, as you say, approach this when as a woman, and now you've got 12 hours of darkness, added darkness because of load shedding, you're a victim if you're a woman in South Africa. You start there, and then hopefully you can work your way back.
Yeah, and I guess even with news like that from the MEC of Social Development, Shana Fernandez, who said that there's some 62 million that has been set aside in terms of budget allocated for the fight against gender-based violence this financial year. It's like, okay, but what does that plan look like, and how is it going to improve circumstances? I think South Africans are desperate to understand the situation and understand where it is that we are going as a country.
Maybe as a starting point, if you're a non-profit, an NGO that's working in this space, that is helping young girls, that is protecting young children, that is empowering young men, let us know. There has to be a way that we can approach this in a proactive sense, but we'd love to hear from you, get your insights this morning. If this has hit a nerve with you, please share that sentiment, not just on our platform, but on every platform that you have. 0634088863. That's the WhatsApp line to talk to us this morning. We'd love to hear from you.